All right, I guess we on. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. Now, I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, as a spiritual healer, excuse me, what I do pretty much is that I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. In this channel, to give is to receive, what we do, I actually use what I call the power of words to help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, when I'm talking about when I'm talking about the power of words, what I'm simply referring to here is that what you call quotes, proverbs, those kinds of statement. And the reason why I call them the power of words, because to me, the effect that certain quotes has on you. You could be, let's just say, motivated, inspired, enlightened, whatever the situation is, and these things happen just by you reading a quote. And the things that also happens when you're looking at a quote, I mean, to me, it's like it creeps up on me. Like it bypass, it demands my freaking attention. It's almost like, you don't even have to be a reader. When you see certain quotes, like it demands your freaking attention. So that to me made me realize when it comes to power of words, it has absolutely nothing to do with, the definition of certain words. I mean, I certainly understand you may put your intention behind the word. It's beautiful, but when we're truly talking about words and how powerful they are, it really comes down to how they are being put together, not the definition of certain words. That's why you'll see poetry has a certain, poetry does that. What you call rap does that. Those parable, those certain statement, what I'm saying, we would actually do that. And then what I realized, about those statements, it's how they are, it's, it's not what's being said, but it's how it's being said. And that's why a lot of speakers do. I know for me, I certainly understand that. You'll see a lot of, some speakers, they use rhyme and reason too sometimes, just to get your attention, just to, you know, I mean, listen, or what? This is what some brothers will call the ism. You know what I'm saying? But the ism has a lot to do with not just the knowledge itself, but how the knowledge is being divulged, if that makes any sense. So really, for me, and that's what you'll see too when you talk about poetry. Obviously, it's set the setup. It's different from, let's just say, you could tell the difference between poetry and a proverb, or let's just say a quote. But the main connection that they all have, the structure in them, it's how all of them are being said, and that's what makes them powerful. Now, when it comes to those quotes, not just the way the quote is being said, but also the wealth of wisdom, the knowledge that is hidden in those statements. It's almost like, you always have to wake up to them. So for me, and the benefit of that too, man, is because, as it demands your attention, right? It makes you more receptive. And at the same time, it gets you to be a little more, to be, you open up a little bit more, because now that, somehow, you paying attention, and then, you able to retain. That's why you'll see a lot of people sometimes, although you may not read a lot, but you could learn a lot from those quotes. And those, like I always tell people, is probably your only shortcut. There's no other shortcut in life. And I know for me personally, I got books on quotes. Unfortunately, I can't recall all of them, but for the wealth of the, for the wealth of wisdom that those quotes have. And by the way, this is another reason why too. Like for me, and that will be my disclaimer once I get to it. I guess fuck it, right? All of my quotes, I mean, they're not from any specific. Like I use quotes from everybody because I also go by this one quote that says, "Wisdom is wisdom, regardless of where it comes from." From a 5-year-old mouth, from a 90-year-old person, the truth is the truth, man. Truth is the truth. And that's why also, I mean, it's always better for you to open up to other stuff besides what you already know, because that allows you to expand your consciousness. Because the only thing that I mean, your mind is being conditioned that way, and you need to, for you to thrive as a person, you have to open up to, you have to open up. You cannot put yourself in a box, you know. But so yeah, so that's pretty much what I do here on this channel as a spiritual healer. So now I was pretty much telling you about, quotes, what I call the power of the words. And now we also talked about how beneficial they are in terms of, you they give you, you don't necessarily have to experience certain things, because most of us, for us to understand certain things, you go through it. Now with those quotes, they allow you now. It's almost like they keep you ready. They already give you a pre understanding of what to expect, and also it gives you that understanding. And if any of it were to happen to you, like, you will be better equipped. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but also, I mean, it allows you to learn things without you having to go through it. You retain the experience and the intelligence, or the lesson. So, I mean, these are, I mean, the power of the words, man. But most importantly, like, you see how if you feel motivated by a quote, this is the quote in itself acting out on you. So that's the power of words, nigga. And that happens because of how these things were put together. And then now when you hear it, you resonate with it. Or if you don't, whatever the fuck you, however the fuck you feel, or that feeling, the vibe, that understanding you got by hearing that. Man, I mean, I'm in it for the same reason. That's why I love this shit. Love, 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 fucking love it. But anyway, so that's what we do, and I already gave you guys about the, disclaimer. We don't give a fuck here. All quotes are welcome. And in fact, the one quote that we'll be talking about here is from the I Ching. Now, the I Ching, I mean, I've been using it lately. Just that's been my meditation tool. I mean, if you need something to park on, like to meditate, and I mean, I strongly recommend it, because the beauty about this, the fucking I Ching, is it's just so deep, man. I mean, I mean, you get to see how deep you are too. I mean, it's just the journey, how it's the embodiment of it. And everything that is being said, there's always a depthness to it. But anyway, with no further ado, let's just delve into it so you'll get to see exactly what I'm talking about here, right? So, it goes like this. When the wind of change blows, some build walls, meanwhile others choose to create windmills. First, I mean, if you into all that battle rap shit, I mean, this is a scheme right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Using the wind as it blows. And again, and this is the intelligence too, the word. when we're talking about the word, come on now. And this is why hip hop is such, what I'm saying, it's such a thing. And if you know anything about us too, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the I Ching is all written. All of the most powerful, you know, they are written like in either poetry style or that kind of, because they understand again the power of words. It's like when the words is just acting out on you, it's just fucking you up all by itself. Oh, I am a witness. I am a witness. But anyway, going back to the structure, I mean, no need for me to get too. It's not that deep. I mean, it is, but I mean, okay. Well, let's just okay. I mean, it is that deep. It is that deep. But anyway, let's do it this way, right? I mean, let's keep it light. You know what I'm saying? So just by listening to that statement, right? So on a surface level, I mean, you can easily say that okay, when change happens, some people accept change, others do not. I mean, which is dope, but in addition to that, there's a whole lot going on here too. Because what this is also telling you, in so many words, it's talking to your perspective. They're really trying to tell you it is your perspective, and that alone, it's just a lot. That's a lot to come to realize. I mean, this is a realization right there. When I tell you these motherfuckers are so it's just something else. As if, I mean, we all have our different perspectives, but you also understand your perspective changes as you understand a little bit more. Like the more you understand, I mean, your perspective is going to be in alignment with that. Because the reality is that you are the beholder. Oh, by the way, if you're coming back, I almost forgot, baby. This is for you. I'm so much up shit, nigga. Like, jump right in. Okay, get you something to drink. You already know. You know what I'm saying? But welcome back. Nothing but love, baby. So what I'm saying here, pretty much, you know what I'm saying, just to fill you in, family, because you didn't lose anything. You came at the right time. Whenever you show up for these video, wherever you click, Nick, it's the right time. You know what I'm saying? You're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're never late. So going back to the whole perspective stuff, and because I mean, on a surface level, pretty much, I mean, it tells you, yeah, change is hard. Some cope with it, not necessarily hard, but what they're kind of saying here, some cope, others do not. But when you delve a little bit deeper, then you realize they're really talking about perspective. Because even the way the wind is blowing, meaning even the way the setup of this whole freaking statement, it's like it's how are you making it better? Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which is you. That's why our lives has a lot to do with the way we see things. It's not how much you see, but it's how are you looking at it. Because if you see a whole lot, but you're looking at it from, what I'm saying, you're looking at it wrong. It's like you're already wrong even to begin with, and then you just You're just all the way lost at that point. You know, man? Can you imagine trying to be logical on some dumb shit? Like your logic doesn't even matter at that point. Does that make any sense? Because it's already dumb shit. And that's what a lot of us, man. That's really what it comes down to expand your consciousness. I mean, a lot of it has to do with your perspective. When you understand, you know what I'm saying, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, well, you tell me how beautiful your life is, or even this world is. So that's why it's important for us to develop your inner vision. Because now, for you to cope, for you to go with the flow, like Bruce Lee's telling you to be water, but how do you even be anything? I mean, without that recognition, that acknowledgement, because he's telling you that from his perspective. Obviously, he's going with the flow, and even to mention that alone, then you would have to understand the mental understand nature of the universe. Even to use the word flowing alone, you insinuating, okay, things, movement, vibration, things are taking place, and they are. And going with the flow, man, it requires self-sacrifice. You would have to offer yourself. I mean, to be like water. I mean, you would have to. It's ironically, and I have, and I did talk about that, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about sacrificing yourself. I mean, because that in itself too, like, it's so fucking deep. Because you think sometimes, or even the idea of sacrificing yourself, it's almost like you're not getting what you want. That's not true at all. Just so you guys know. And that's the thing about sacrifices. Like Jesus had to sacrifice himself for his greater self. When you sacrifice yourself, you actually getting the best of you. It's the total opposite. You get to appreciate, like, even the artists, and I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like when I devoted myself to me, even the, let's just say, some of the artists that I like, some of the songs that I used to like, I love them even better. Back then I liked them. Now I love them because I really get to appreciate the art too, or the person making the song, whatever the fuck the circumstance is. I mean, you may lose a little bit, but you gain a whole lot more. And I can't recall if it's on my. By the way, I do have another channel. I have a channel that goes by Lespri, and this is to give, is to receive. So either one of them, if you interested and would like to understand the whole thing about sacrifice, that's why when you sacrifice yourself to God, I mean, you're sacrificing yourself to your higher self. That's why those, let's just say, rewards or even greater. The benefit that you rip out of that shit is even greater. So be the sacrifice. And the greater your sacrifice, the greater the reward is going to be. Some people choose to sacrifice a chicken or maybe whatever the fuck you choose to do. But I could tell you right now, when you sacrifice yourself, this is the ultimate one. That's no greater sacrifices than that. And obviously, that's how you become the Christ. And contrary to what a lot of people think, you truly get you. It doesn't take away your, let's just say, the things that you want, but it gives you even greater things that you didn't think that you even wanted, but it comes with it. Free game, man. I just don't tip twice. Here's your tip for the day. But anyway, going back now to perspective, because everything we do here, how we see things, it's all about our perspective. When something bad happens to you, your perspective, you could create or build a windmills, or you create a wall. In fact, a lot of people, and let me just say this, and I realize a lot of people, because in my, and check, that's definitely in my Lespri channel. I uploaded a video where I was talking about spirituality being, it's a practical matter. Like, you're not gonna be spiritual, be stupid. Like, that's not the way it works. Because I could tell you now, I mean, you think Jesus was a stupid motherfucker? So a lot of people, and let me say this, because I realize, and this is all connected to what we're talking about here, right? And just to, a lot of people don't truly understand what Jesus meant when he says, if you got slapped on this chick, you turn the other one. What that is talking about is not, again, spirituality is not about stupidity. When you forgive somebody, right? The forgiveness is for you, not for the person. It's for you. It's you having the understanding of why they did what they did and the reason why they did what they did. So now that doesn't mean you have to allow that person to be in your. I mean, because the same thing's going to happen again, especially if they have not changed. And for the most part, I mean, if they change, listen, I mean, if you got the sight, you'll know it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were there for the lesson. You thank them for the lesson and nothing else. To thank them for the lesson while they hurt you, this is you turning your other cheek. It's almost like, you see how they say when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade? Others may have the lemon, they don't know what the fuck to do with it. What am I going to do with this? Crunch your thirst. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all of that, I mean, that's what it means. Like, in situations when something bad happened to you, turn the other cheek, look at the other side of it. Because this is the other cheek, not this cheek, the other one. Look at it from a different angle. Not putting yourself in the same situation again. That's stupidity. Again, spirituality is practical. You know that? It's no like no. It's practical. It's practical. Having a good heart doesn't mean you allow people to walk on you, man. What the fuck? You having a good heart has to do with people like banging on you. Now that's you being stupid. Or you being open, loving God. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell them, if you wanted to send me to heaven, well, I'll make sure you go to hell first. Spirituality is practicality, nigga. You know, there's nothing like there's nothing that makes you stupid. Like what? You gonna smack me again? You know what I'm saying? Oh, because I forgive you. What? Like you just? Oh, I'm gonna let you do it again. And that's forgiveness? No, it's not. Mm-mm. Forgiveness has to do with me not taking it personal. I'm sleeping good at night. I'm not letting it, you know what I'm saying? Or when I see you on site, you did what you did, fine. I understand why you did shit. I forgive you before you even did it. Now get the fuck out my face. Lovingly. With love. Because when we create our boundaries, and this is what a lot of people need to understand. I mean, for the most part, you do it for you, which is true, but you also do it for them too. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you understand they don't understand you. That's like me, let's just say, why would I surround myself with people that I know that don't like me? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like people want to hurt me, and then you're gonna say you love me. First of all, if you did love me, you wouldn't have to say it. Your action would have showed it. So if you love me, you're treating me wrong. How about if you hated me? Listen, man, don't do it, people. Don't do it. Having a good heart has nothing to do with this. What love's got to do with it? What love's got to do with it? Absolutely nothing. So again, spirituality is a practical matter. That's the reason why you create your boundaries. That's the reason why you don't cast your pearls before swine. Why wasting your good hearted on stupid people? It doesn't make sense. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Now, going back to what we were talking about, because this is all connected, because you're talking about all of it, your perspectives on things. This is what we're talking about here. It's not how much you see, but it's how are you looking at it. Because the how you're looking at it determines everything. When something bad happens to you, do you get the lesson out of it? Or do you bitch about it? And most likely, and I'll tell you this, if you choose to get the lesson out of it, you'll bitch less about it because you got the lesson. It's either or. That's why you can't serve to God. Did you learn or did you got burnt? I mean, sometimes, hey, the burning comes with the learning, but you see, this is the mentality you need to change. That's what you need to start looking at it from a different perspective. That's the other cheek you really need to turn. I got it. I understand it hurts now. Now, but when you start, you know what I'm saying, that's when developing your inner vision and it allows that it's okay. You're gonna be okay. And then now this is how you pretty much becoming the alchemist. Now you turning, the pain into something beautiful. But that has to do with your perspective. That's also how you get to treat your wounded child. That's part of the process that you're gonna have to be or have to do as you became as you being born again. Now you know a little bit better. You understand that there is more to you than your dick and your pussy. Then now you understand meditation as you're doing all of that work, which is beautiful, by the way. It's part of the process. But most importantly, you would have to examine your life, right? And you're doing so pretty much by going through those deep emotional things that took place, That's part of the shadow work. Understanding what got me here. Why do I feel this way? Oh, I was raised that way. My uncle did this. Whatever the fuck. Then, as you start to spot these things, because that's how you're getting into your own darkness. That's how, before you see the light, you got to go down. And that entail you now, part of your shadow self, are trying to understand those early emotions because they do shape your life. Now you're having a conversation with that little you. Come on, baby, I know, man. It happens. Look at us now. You know what I'm saying? This is you now bringing a smile in that motherfucker's face. Changing is your perspective as you changing his, but ultimately, it's all of you. You bringing him up to speed. That's the alignment. You're aligning yourself now with the truth, which is the higher self or with God. Now that is the type of understanding now that you're passing on to your younger self. I mean, I understand this didn't happen, but it needed to happen. Look at us now. There's no need to have grudges. And listen, man, it happens. It's all part of us going through the process, and we came out better than ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's the perspective, but you're gonna have to spot it, and but a lot of that has to do with you embracing you, and embracing you is a whole lot. Then that entails following your passion. I mean, it's the whole you. Then you start to develop your self-respect. Now you understand. Guess what? Besides brushing your teeth, taking a shower, looking good. Now that's listen. Listen, it's all good. I see my ladies in the spa day. Get all of it. Ow. Get the nails done too, baby, while you at it. How about your brain too, though? Do you know you also need some time to do a little bit of meditation? And that pretty much entails you expanding your consciousness I mean, come on, man. The more you do, the better it'll look on you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And this is also you understanding, listen, there is values that you need to add on you. And this is you now knowing how holistic, this is now you becoming perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Don't look at perfection in terms of being flawless because that does not exist. This is fiction. Get out of that fiction. The world that we're living in, the more sort of say mistake that you do, again, your perspective, the better you get. So your mistakes is not even a mistake. That's how you improve. Do it again. Do it again. You playing a guitar? Do it again. You trying out for? Do it again. You shot it? I'll do it again. You fell when you stopped. Even a bodybuilder that has a nice body got to keep working out. I mean, if you want to, how fucked up is that? It's just repetition. So even the word mistakes, when you change your perspective, that's why I really like I can't recall, was it Henry Ford? Whichever one of these motherfuckers, but the motherfucker who invented like the fucking light bulb, I can't recall his name. Nigga, when he fell that many, he said, "Nah, I didn't fail. I figure out up like that's a Godhead mentality." He did, in fact, he was able to do it because he's seen it from a God perspective. from a higher self perspective. You're looking at failing. I mean, how do you look? How do you even get to see that? Again, but again, that a lot of that has to do with ignorance. Everybody tells you the same thing. And at first you don't succeed, do it again. Aaliyah said it. You see, that's why when your haters, you know what I'm saying? Then you have haters now who feel like everybody's lucky. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, these see when they don't you people would not understand hard work until you choose you. The people who understand about what hard work is the people who have chosen who they are, who's working either on your craft or whatever the goal that you got or something that you love, whatever the fuck. It's always the people who are doing something and also embrace you. Because I'm not, well, shit. I'm not doing this for clouds. You know what I'm saying? To sound smart. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. How would that even benefit anything anyway? But anyway, going back to the whole perspective, that alone it's deep. So if we're saying beauty is in the eye of the beholder, if you don't see beauty, what does that say about you? You see what I'm saying? What are you looking at? I mean, again, and here's the thing too. Like I always tell people, right? Some people will tell you this world is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta eat. We gotta shit. You know, because there's a whole spiritual, I guess, philosophy where people are saying somehow this earth is hell. I mean, really? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, again, it's their perspective. It's the whole idea of they always praise the spirit and somehow trying to, negate or suppress the material. It's almost the idea too. Like that's why you'll see in most, let's just say, Christian, the whole, that's why people, they don't talk about certain organs, right? Like your sex, your sexual organs. It's like it's evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not. Hey, that's the testosterone in this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man, shit, I've been in situations, early on, especially in your, and then you'll see a little girl, then your dick will just get hard. Now, that's what they will call evil. Because, it's the dick has a mind on his own. Hey, sure do. You know, you better learn how to cope with it. Why going against that? You know what I'm saying? Like this is my buddy. You know what I'm saying? I hug him. I'm like, we're not going there, buddy. But I do appreciate. You know what I'm saying? That's me. We alive. We good. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I mean? It's not against you. It's all part of you. You know, and I mean, and for you to grow too. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's to be one sided to look at this world even from that perspective. Because even when we're talking about, because I always say, and the Indian says it too, and which is perfectly said, this realm that we're living in is a realm of illusion. It simply means anything that we see, there's more to it. For instance, when I look at you, there is more to you. When you look at me, there's more to me. Meaning, when you look at me, Yes, you see what I look like, but there's more to me than just what I look like. So literally, when you talk about a book, it's like you cannot judge a book by its cover, like even if you wanted to. The fuck you see, and that's all of us. That's what we are. You gotta delve. You gotta see people beyond what they look like. Just like the book, however good looking it looks, or however bad it looks, it doesn't matter. So that's why, if that's the case, that's why the ones who truly understand, who see things beyond the veil, then that's why we don't blame Earth. Because it really has to do with your perspective. And once you see the truth, you being set free, then who the fuck you gonna blame? It's either you know the truth or you do not. And obviously, if you're calling Earth, let's just say hell, you don't know the truth. And obviously, you don't know who you are, and you don't even understand what fucking illusion is. And again, I'm not trying to say it's Candyland over here. That's a shit. In fact, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you say it's hell, I can understand. But the reason why I probably wouldn't emphasize on this being hell is because it's ignorance. I also understand the science of ignorance and the science of the truth. And once you get to see it from that perspective, it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, once you've been set free, like, nigga, I'm free. I'm free. Like, what? It's all about your perspective. And if you're calling yourself a god and now you're in hell, what do you make out of that? Like, I mean, did the god somehow were you forced to come here? Was it out of your god, or was it all part of your plan? So if it's part of your plan, like, it's again, however the fuck you want to look at it, I mean, it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm trying to say. And if this is part of your plan, then you come here, then you put yourself here. Is this really hell? And if you have the ability to grow, well, this should be your spiritual, battlefield. Then this is your training camp. Why are you bitching about a training camp, nigga? You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I mean, you came here to get stronger. Well, let's do what we came here to do. Are you doing what you came here to do, though? Because if that's the case, well, it wouldn't matter. Like I always tell people, right? If you tell me you were that star and that star over here, well, you got to show it to me over here, though. And just so you guys know, the true meaning of being a religious person, that's exactly what it is. It's a man of God, a manifestation in the flesh. Like me speaking about this, but also being about this. This is my living. So it's to make the divinity, it's to materialize the divinity. So if you that nigga on that whoever the fuck planet you choose to say, or you choose to you saying, well, babe, shit, well, dance, show us, be it. Oh, now I mean, now are you just a little bit busy right now? You know, I'm saying, you're a little bit busy right now. I'm saying you just gonna wait until you go back. You gonna wait until you go back. You know what I'm saying? You're just a little bit shy. I got it. Who you are is who you are. And that's what seeing, having the ability to see beyond the veil is. Because if and when you really get, that's how I know if you know you or not. Because if you know who you are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So meaning the heavens should be, chanting for me right now as I'm doing what I'm doing here, and when I go back, you already know it doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? I have to come down, you know what I'm saying, realign a couple things, let them know what this is all about. In the name of who you are, and in the name of my spirit. So you can have the best life ever, not just attaining your, highest level of consciousness, and make this a best fucking experience too. Why the fuck not? Have a better experience, make it a better experience for somebody else too. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to fuck up your day, man. I'm here to make it better. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because I'm having a good day myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not going to let you fuck up my day. Oh, no. So, again, your perspective is important. But now having the right perspective, and what that is pretty much, is just to see it beyond, see it for what it is. And that entails you looking at it from beyond the veil. And that truly entails you knowing who you are. That's truly what it comes down to. It's until you know who you are, then now, you know what I'm saying, your sight's gonna be like, oh, okay. So again, I definitely recommend the I Ching, but I will say this: it's not for the newbies though. It's, what I'm saying, it's not, and it's not there. It's not for any. It's not. Trust me. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. And even for me, and I mean, shit. Like anyway. It's just a whole other connection, and I fucking love it. It's everything that's being said, but it's not being said, but has to. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys here. So understand your perspective. It all comes down to your perspective. Spiritually, whatever the fuck, Jesus, Muhammad, are you stuck in those sides, or do you have the perspective to understand Jesus, Muhammad, whoever the fuck it is? I mean, they represent you. Because ultimately, they're telling you the same message. And that true message is for you to materialize that into your life. And besides, and here's the thing, you can't even talk about Jesus or Muhammad if you're not being them. And when you really walk that path, you will not have an issue with neither one of them because you get it. That's why a true man of God, you wouldn't have to choose a motherfucking size between whoever the fuck. They are all me. They'll all speak the truth. Pick a side for what? To do what? To get a one-sided perspective? To limit myself? To put myself in a box and then feel good about it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because that's truly what you're doing. But having the right perspective now would allow you to understand Buddha. It's all you. Jesus, it's all you. Same shit, different day. I'm the Buddha, I'm the Christ, I'm all of them. Because what they truly represent is anybody and everybody who has the highest level of consciousness. And as you do, as you go through your trials and tribulations, your awakening process, having developing your inner sights, being blessed now to come from being a blind man now to see the light. Oh, I've been there. Come on, man. I tell them, yo, that's my testimony. I see now. I tell everybody I see now. Fuck you, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I see, bitch. Fuck is you talking about? You want me to be on what side? What side of what? I see, bitch. It's me. It's me. Now I know. And I'm telling the others now. It's you, my friend. It's okay. When you see it, go tell them the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Go on now and stop sinning. After you know the truth, don't you ever go back. And you will automatically stop sinning too, because now you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you are worshiping idols, but you don't understand what fucking idol is. You think when people are talking about idols, it's when they talking about this kind of shit. No. No. Get that shit. Put it in your pocket. Walk around with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like for me, listen, man, they thought I was by myself. You must be out of your mind. That was for your demise. You know what I'm saying? That's how I wanted you to come in. And for anybody and anybody who like to give it a shot, stick your dick in. You know what I'm saying? If I appear like pussy to you, well, please, by all means, what do you do with pussy? Stick your dick in. You know what I'm saying? Ask the last pussies. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, at your own discretions. But again, I don't even know why it has to go there. Do you see what I'm saying? But I also get it too, that's what the truth does to other people. It awaken their demon. And especially when you're not in touch with yourself, because that awakening of your demon is good for you. It's helping you. This is the moment you should acknowledge it. But unfortunately, you being ignorant, that triggered now, you don't understand how to deal with it. Some innocent people have suffered because of your ignorance. Not over here, baby. You choose the right one. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna teach you how to sit and respect other people. I see. Blah.